So, you want to be able to take time off this summer and have a nice summer break to enjoy the sun, be able to lay out by the ocean, by the pool, take a nice vacation, enjoy some juicy cocktails. But you are worried about your content game and showing up in your business and continuing on with the consistency that you've been building up for this whole first half of the year. And you want to do all of this without draining yourself and burning out while you are enjoying your summer break. So, I just want you to know that it is possible to have the best of both worlds. You can take time off from your business and still be showing up consistently on your platforms without feeling like you need to be creating content every single day and staying in that content brain of still searching for inspiration and all of those sorts of things. So, fear not, my friend, I have the solution for you in this episode because I'm going to show you how to create a content bank that you can schedule out in advance with a whole bunch of evergreen content so you can take a break from your business this summer without missing a beat at all. So you can have the hot girl summer that you have been thinking about during all of these past cold months. Hello, and welcome back to the Continental Podcast. I am very excited to be having this discussion with you today because, yeah, summer is just around the corner, and I know that we all want to take some time to relax, unwind, soak up some sunshine, have a hot girl summer, whatever your vibe is. And as business owners, taking a break can be really hard. We always just want to be on. And part of that feeling like we always need to be on is feeling like we also always need to be creating content. And the idea of leaving our business for, just a week to go on vacation can seem really, really daunting. But, what if I told you that you can, have your cake and eat it too? You can go on vacation and still be creating content and still be showing up in your business and to your community. And so that is what we're going to be talking about today. With having a content bank, which is what we're talking about, that you can be repurposing from your old content, you can take time off this summer without having to sacrifice your content game online and without having to sacrifice the consistency in the platform that you've been working on for the whole first half of this year. So now to get into it, first things first that I want to talk to you about is what even is a content bank. So, how I like to talk about content banks, how I like to look at them, how I utilize them within my own business and when I'm working with clients is I like to think of a content bank as a collection of repurposed content that you can use to keep, your social media and your other content channels active, even when you're not around or even when you're not in a flow state or in a season of creating and having, inspiration come to you. It's like a bank of evergreen content in all these different ways that you can be spitting out whenever you need to be doing so. So yeah, it's kind of like having like a reserved tank of gas for your content game and for your business. But you might be thinking, okay, well, Anna, like, how do I even create a content bank? That sounds like a lot of work. And I mean, that's where repurposing comes in because yes, creating a content bank does take time, but also it takes time to be showing up on your platforms every single day, as you are well aware of that. And that's not what you're trying to be doing this summer. So, repurposing your content is taking your old content, giving it new life, and turning it into something new. So, the possibilities really are endless and what you can create by having a repurposed content bank ready there at your fingertips to be using this summer. Repurposing is just a great way to be getting extra mileage out of your content. As you know, that's what we're all about here. That's what I'm all about, and why I love content repurposing because it is a fabulous way to be working smarter, not harder. So, I'm going to go through with you now how you can create a content bank that is repurposed from your old content. So, to break it all down, I have a couple different steps for you to follow. So, step one is you need to take an inventory of the existing content that you have. So, pick a platform that you have been showing up on consistently, that you have been creating content for consistently, and you have some of your best work on that platform. So that'll be different for anyone. That might be your Instagram, it might be your Facebook, it could be an email list, it could be your podcast. Whatever that may be, pick that platform and go through and review and look at all of the content that you created on that platform. So whatever that may be, and go through and look at all of it. So that's kind of moves on to step 2, which is go through it and determine what can be repurposed. Look for content that, is evergreen and can be updated, such as like any carousel posts, any really long captions, any like how-to guides that you have, educational content, things like that. I'm going to go through the examples of using your Instagram feed because that is what I find most of my clients having a like graveyard of content sitting is on their Instagram feed. So what I recommend you doing is going back to a certain point of time on your Instagram feed, where you feel like, yes, I was like, on fire here creating content, and literally go through and review every single post. Look within the graphic if there's anything that you could repurpose, like if it is a longer carousel, maybe you could repurpose that again, put it into a caption, put it into an Instagram stories, whatever that may be. And then look at the caption as well. If there's anything in the caption that could be repurposed into a graphic or could be repurposed into a new post itself. So make sure you are reviewing these different things, trying to figure out and determine what can be repurposed. That's not going to take a long time. I know it seems like it might, but when you are just clicking through, reviewing content, you'll be able to know pretty quickly if this is going to be worth your time repurposing or not. And so now step number 3, when you are reviewing your content, trying to figure out what can be repurposed, go ahead and try to figure out what form of content are you trying to repurpose the new thing into. If you are trying to take a break from your social media, which I figure most of you are, be having that thought process in mind while you are reviewing your content, taking inventory and seeing what you have and thinking, okay, will this work for a new social media post? Will this work for a new Instagram reel? Will this work for a new Instagram story? And you can be, if you want to take this like and go really big with it while you're already reviewing your content, creating a content bank, you can also be thinking about, okay, is this something that I could put onto my email list? Is this something I could make, a podcast episode from? I mean, really, the possibilities are endless. But yeah, for now, I would suggest just trying to think about what you can do to set yourself up for being able to take time off this summer, however that looks like for you. So now that you have kind of gone through the first 3 steps, looked at your content, took an inventory, figured out what you want to do. Also, I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning. I recommend doing this in Google Docs. Like, definitely do this in your computer. Have a like Google Doc sheet open, and then like on the other side of the screen, have whatever platform it is that you are taking inventory on. That way you can just copy links over and take notes and put your information into that Google Doc sheet. Do it all on your computer. Don't try to be like messing around, switching into different apps and tabs on your phone. And then now for step number 4 is you need to actually then repurpose your content. So that is where you're actually going to be taking that old piece of content, turning it into something new. Make sure that you update it with any new like insights, information you have since you last shared it. Maybe you have new branding since you last shared that graphic. So just go ahead and tweak it up in Canva. Do whatever updates you need to do to be able to create that new piece of content. And then the last step that I recommend is keeping your content bank organized. That's why I said doing this in a Google Doc, and make the Google Doc as pretty as possible, because I don't know if you're like me, but I keep all of my documents for my business very branded and very pretty, because if it looks just very boring, black and white with a plain like Calibri font, I don't like that. I'm not going to come back and re-looking at that document to be using it as a resource in my business. So add your logo to it, add your brand colors to it for the text, for your font colors, add your fonts in there as well. Make it a nice content bank and a resource that you will come back to. and then organize your content bank as well. So now that you have all of your pieces in there and your document, then go through and try to organize that by content pillar, I would suggest. Or if you don't have like really specific content pillars, see if you can find themes for different topics of posts. Like if you had posts that were educational on a certain topic, have a header for that and put all of those posts underneath. If you had more personal stories, go ahead and create a header for that, put all of those underneath. If they were posts where you were like pitching your services or pitching for someone to book a discovery call with you, have a header for that, put everything under there. So that's like how I like to organize mine by is like whatever topic it is that I'm talking about in that post. That is how I have my content bank organized for myself. And so now, voila, you have a content bank that can keep you ready to go for the entire summer. Depending on how much content you have been creating, depending on how deep you went to and whatever platform you have, this is something that could keep you going for months and months and months. Also, depending on how often you are currently posting. But, creating a content bank repurposed from your old content is a great way to be able to take some well-deserved time off from your business this summer. And I know we could all definitely use that. So not only will you be able to maintain your online presence and the consistency that you've building up over the first half of the year, but you'll also be able to have more time to enjoy some sunshine and be able to have some nice drinks with your friends or just do whatever it is that you want to do. I know that it can be overwhelming to create a content bank, especially if you are someone who has been creating content for a long time. It can feel really time consuming, especially like I just said, if you have a lot of old content to be, sorting through. So if you at all are feeling overwhelmed with the idea of creating a content bank, please don't worry. That is 100% where I can come in and be able to help you in your business this summer. I have multiple different offers that are literally me doing this for my clients because it is also a great way. Like if you have a social media manager on your team, if you have a virtual assistant on your team or an OBM, they are then able to take this content bank and they can go ahead and get all the pieces scheduled out and they can do everything that they need to do on your end if you already have a team together for you. I just come in and create the content bank and get everything ready to go for you or your team to be able to push it all out there. As a content repurposing expert, I can help you repurpose your old content into a huge content bank that you can be using and having fresh new pieces that are going to engage your audience, drive conversations, and just keep things going in your online platforms this summer. Whether you are deciding you want to take some vacation or you literally just want to be able to not be online, looking at your phone, whatever that may be. I have free vibe check calls, which is what I call my discovery calls. You can book that in through any of the links that'll be in the show notes. I also have links to that on my social media, my Instagram at AnnaSchildBA. And yeah, I have a couple different offers where we can do that. One is called the Repurposing Review, which is where I go through and I review all of your content and I create that content bank for you and list it all out. And then the other offer where I do this is called All Things Content. And that is where I go through, create the content bank for you, get it all organized. And then I'm also on top of that going and repurposing all of that content as well. So that is my full blown, pretty much like done for you content repurposing service. But yeah, I am able to customize my offers depending on what it is specifically that you're looking for, what platform you're looking to be taking time off from, what platform you're looking to having, audited. So yeah, I really hope that this episode was helpful for you so that way you can take time off this summer, have a content bank to be working with. And even if you're not taking time off this summer, maybe you are in the other side of the world, you are not taking time off this summer, you are going into winter. This is still the process of what I would recommend and how I work with myself and with my clients to be able to create a content bank. And this is something that I started doing for myself and my own business. Started doing this about 2 years ago. And it's something that I kind of go through and do every quarter. So every few months, I'll go in and audit, review, take inventory of the content that I had just shared the past few months and update that content bank. And I have that to be able to pull from. So yeah, content repurposing is a great step to be able to take towards having a stress-free summer, to having that hot girl summer, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me. If you really like this episode, I would definitely appreciate it if you could leave a review wherever you are listening so I can hear how it resonated for you and how you have been enjoying the podcast so far. So, yeah, until the next episode, keep creating, keep chilling, and I will talk to you soon.